smart. Thank God. Great to have other pros here. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Thanks for saying hello. Good to see you all. Oh, look at all these beautiful faces. Hey, Dalton. Good morning, Barbara. Love to see your smile. Yay, Jennifer. Thanks for the little party hat. Whatever you call those things. Real food is real good, real fast. Oh, real food, real fast. Oh, I love that, Glenn. That's what we're talking about today, is real fast food, like the real fast food, actual real food, healthy food, fast delivered to your blood, just right to your brain, so you can all feel good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and spotlight myself. Today is a little bit extra strange in terms of trying to figure out how to do the controls here. Let me just see. There we go. There I am. Okay. Thank you. Oh my gosh, it's just so, these calls have been getting bigger and bigger, and I'm really, really delighted at how many people we are reaching and lives that we're able to touch. And just so you know, this is part of a series. We finished our winter series. And so if you want replays of the Hashimoto's, diabetes, acne, stomach issues, we are going to go into some more topics coming up. Today's multiple sclerosis. And I think next week we're doing bodybuilding, because I used to be a bodybuilder. And so we're going to be doing sports next week. And we are going to, after that, do gut health. And I'm taking requests. So if there's a topic that you'd like for the spring, we are ready to cover it. Okay, whatever it is, I don't care. We'll cover anything you want. Today we're going to talk about multiple sclerosis. We're going to touch upon Lyme's disease, ALS. We're going to just kind of some of those things are all grouped together here and related. And I'm going to have my wonderful co-host Christen join us too. And she has an incredible story for you all. She had an MS diagnosis, and she's going to tell you about what that was like. And she no longer has an MS diagnosis. She's normal. She's got health now. And so you're going to all get to learn about that. So we're going to celebrate that. Let me get my green mustache on. Oh. As my brain goes and my excitement goes, I have to fuel up. So guess what? As we are learning, we are growing new neurotransmitters. We are actually growing our brains. And so it's really important to hydrate and to have some kind of liquid when you are learning, because literally as you are learning and those are growing, they require water. Our water is required in order to grow our brain. So that's why it's important. You see all these people needing to drink. Because even while I'm teaching, I'm learning. Even as I'm teaching, my brain is growing, because as I teach information, more new synapses are connected. And so you see speakers needing to hydrate all the time. Well, their brains are growing. Okay. All right. So my name is Rachel Balancet. I am a regenerative health practitioner. I also have worked as an Ayurvedic practitioner, worked in a clinic, and had my own practice for many years. I also have aligned with a company called Purium. So I'm also a Purium health professional. I have studied with Dave Sandoval, the founder of the company, who's a nutrition scholar of nutrition, incredible man. I have so much to say about him. He has a star in Hollywood. That's kind of like just says it all. Anyone who has a star in Hollywood must be doing good things, right? And he also created the Plastic Free Alliance. He had created an organization, a nonprofit organization, which actually, Kimberly, would you like to come on and say a quick little thing about that? I know you just put your own green thing in your mouth, but I'd love to spotlight you.
Hi, everyone. Yes, I just was chewing my chlorella, your sunshine. So if there's chlorella in my teeth. Wow. I mean, when Dave said that he was then opening this space to gather companies that were coming in to be under the umbrella of the Plastic Free Alliance, I was just like, what can I do? And then he started telling me the different levels of ways to support it. And I guess I don't know, the way that I have been doing things with myself. He told me the way to get the free table and the tickets and the whole thing. And I'm like, okay, great. Like I'll just give all my money to you, because the only reason I have money is because of Purium. So I have a team and I'm going to make more, and more money will come and it'll happen. And then I get to bring my team to the show and have it all there and be in a room with some of the most powerful people, in my opinion, on this planet. Like, people go to all these like events and like they've got the Grammys and all this stuff, and I'm like, I want to be at a place where there's like people removing the plastic on the planet and like coming up with compostable diapers and like all of this stuff. Like, I am crazy at home, and like the type of guilt that I live in for just like buying a bar that has a package around it that I can't do. Like, I'm just like, I'm Looney Tunes, and I don't even have children. So I'm doing this for all of your children and all the others, and just really, feeling that. And it's funny because I was on a like live last night, and I was blending up a drink, and a chunk of plastic got blended, and I was like blending the drink like super hard. And then I'm drinking the drink on the Zoom, and I'm like, what is it? It's plastic in my mouth. And it's just like, what a riot, like
Where did
we're
this come
doing
from?
everything that we can. I think it came from the sticker on the watermelon that I blended it up. So there's plastic everywhere, and all we can do is be brave. And luckily, we are being in a state of being brave every single minute, reaching out to people about Purium. The next step is to call or email, somehow get a hold of the company that you have the product in your home that has a non-compostable package, and get a hold of them and say that you have the answer, and that, are they a company? I love how Dave said yesterday, it's like, okay, so you're a really cool company and you're helping people, and you're keeping people, healthy and whatever. You've only got one leg in the game, because the planet is suffering from our health. And so that piece is, it's so crazy, it's like, and that's why I was like, okay, so what, we're just going to have more and more money, but our planet is going to be failing. And then like, how do we balance that? So anyway,
yes, we have compostable packaging, and that's really like, this just summarizes even more impactful how impactful this company is, Purium is, in terms of that it's not just about health, that it's also understanding the relationship between the web of life and how we're all related, and how important it is to think on the global level. And this actually brings us back to MS, because MS is multiple sclerosis is also, thank you so much for all that you do, Kimberly. You're an incredible player in this whole.
I'll put the link in the comments of how you can like save that link, and then just look it up, and then start sending that link out to the companies that you want to do, like connect with Dave.
Yes, we want to help all companies become part of the Plastic Free Alliance, and so that everyone has integrity. And so this is really, important too, because multiple sclerosis is also fed by plastics, PFOEs, all the different toxins that are in our environment, is one of the ways that that people with MS are continuing to suffer, because they're getting all this exposure to toxins. And so this is a part of the picture. So I want to bring on right now, let's just start with some inspiration from Christen, my love, my dear one. Where do you live again? I always forget where you live. Like, we met through Zoom, and this is the world. This is the state of the world now. It's like, you don't even know what country your friends are in.
I know. Thank you so much. I'm in the Chicago area, so right outside of Chicago.
Awesome. Okay, so city to city. I'm over here near San Francisco. You're over there in Chicago.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yep.
So Christen, you have such a beautiful story, and I've seen your videos and I've seen you talk about it. And you're also, here you are, somebody who's like struggled with eye issues, going blind, and then you're also work as in an optometry office. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I work in the eye business. I work for ophthalmologists right now. And yeah, I'm in the eye world. I'm an optician. So I help people with their eyeglasses and seeing.
So tell us a little bit about your what it was like before you got well, as in your your diagnosis and stuff like that. What was a picture of your life before?
So it was a bit of a roller coaster. I was originally diagnosed 9 years ago around this time in 2014, and I had optic neuritis. So my right eye was the optic nerve was inflamed, and so very, very painful. Any eye movement at all was excruciatingly painful. And it came on very suddenly. Luckily, I worked for an optometrist at the time in Atlanta, and he kept doing test after test trying to figure it out. And he finally saw the optic nerve and the inflammation. And he immediately sent me to a neuro-ophthalmologist. And then she ordered the MRI, and that led to the diagnosis of multiple sclerosis. So, yeah, it was terrifying. That portion was terrifying. That went on for about 9 months. The pain went on for about a couple of weeks. And then I lost vision, not completely. I wasn't blind, but very distorted, and colors were very distorted. So for a while, that was like that. And then I started to slowly gain my vision back. And then over the years, that was 9 years ago. So over the years, I've had lots of other things happen, like lots of nerve pain, really, really bad nerve pain that I would not wish upon anybody. It's just stabbing pains, like all kinds of pain in my limbs, my arms and my legs, weakness in my limbs, hip issues. So I've had all kinds of stuff. And I knew that nutrition, that was my go-to. I immediately did not do medication. And that was a terrifying decision. I say that with ease, but that is a terrifying decision when the doctor is telling you that, this can go into progressive MS and it's going to get worse. And if I don't get on multiple sclerosis drugs, immunosuppressants, and even the steroids for the pain, I did some ibuprofen just to get through the pain in the beginning. And then after that, I went directly to nutrition. So I started juicing right away and eating very, very clean, eliminating dairy, and just eating very, very clean. No dairy, no gluten. I did paleo. I started out on paleo. So I was eating a lot of meat and vegetables and fruits. So I was doing good. There was a big improvement from one MRI to the next, and my vision was improving. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to keep going with this. And I came across a doctor at the time, Dr. Walls, who was extremely incredible, just amazing at the time. And she's a doctor. She's an MD that has MS. And sorry, my dog. And she has MS, and she went from a wheelchair to running marathons, and she did it with nutrition. Don't bark. And she did it with nutrition, and so incredible. So I followed her, and I did what she was doing, and she was doing the paleo diet. That's her thing. But it's just clean eating was the key. And so over the past years, I've struggled to find good nutrition all the time. It's hard to eat clean all the time. And that's been the struggle. So I found Purium a year ago, and a year and a few months ago. And that has been my core nutrition. So, and I've just seen such a huge improvement over the past year, because the past 9 years, it's been a roller coaster. So I eat really good, and then I don't. And it was just this roller coaster of going back and forth. And I was drinking coffee, and I was still eating. I thought I was eating good a lot of the time, but I just wasn't. And I was not detoxing like I should have. And the detoxing part has really changed my life over the past year. The second detox I did, the second ULT, Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation, with the 10-day cleanse and all that has impacted my life. I saw such a difference after that second cleanse. And I just felt my body change. I don't know how to explain it. I just felt like a change and a shift in my body. And it was incredible. So I live on these products. Nutrition is my medicine. Food is my medicine. So, and I found the best medicine, I think, out there. So then my question, and I just went around in circles trying to dig and research and all of this for 9 years, just digging and connecting Lyme disease and all of that. And I finally found a lot of information that has just blown my mind, along with what Rachel has taught me. And it's just been an incredible journey. I've started to figure out where did this toxic buildup come from for me? Because I didn't think I really had heavy metals. And I'm like, well, where could that have come from? So just recently, like probably just this year, I've started really digging back, and I'm like, I had 7 cavities when I was a child in my baby teeth. I had 7, and they put metal fillings in those 7 cavities. Luckily, they fell out, but still, I was absorbing all those metals at that very young age. That's just one thing that I can think of. Like, whoa, that was probably, that was huge. And there were some other things as well, but, and just coming back to nutrition. And so, yeah, I've had lots of things, lots of symptoms over the years, but I know that when I eat good, I feel good. And I've known that from the beginning. So another thing that is a very common, they tell you that your immune system is attacking you, and it's not. I've learned that your immune system does not attack your body. And I've been having conversations with people about that and explaining that. And that's a mind blower, because that's what we're taught. That's, oh my gosh, we have to suppress the immune system because it's attacking us. And it's not. It's toxins that are attacking us and pathogens. And we need to detox these out of our bodies. So yeah, I think I'm going to pause there, but
thank you. So
yeah.
you've done the Purium, you've been on Purium for a while. You've been using these supplements, and this food and this nutrition, and you've really noticed like a substantial difference.
Definitely. It's been a complete game changer.
Mm-hmm.
I was going in and out of pain. I remember times when coming home after work, when you're really tired and your legs are tired, and I felt heavy, and I felt like I could barely stand up at times. And I haven't felt like that in 2 years or a year and a half, or however long it's been since I've been on these products. Yeah.
And how long ago did you start your journey with Purium?
It was January of 22.
Mm-hmm. So January 22. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So it's been like it's been almost a year and a half for you. So that's great. And you've been feeling really good.
Yeah.
So wonderful. Thank you so much. I hope that everyone is inspired.
I have to say one more thing about my vision. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this really important piece.
That's right.
So there is a supplement that we have in our products. It's also just called, correct me, Rachel, it's
Superxanthin?
Astaxanthin. Right.
Superxanthin is the name of the product.
Superxanthin is our product, but it's astaxanthin, the pigment of shellfish. Red pigment, red algae. Yes.
Red algae. It's not harvested from shellfish, just to be clear, but it's what causes the shellfish eat it, and that's what causes them to have the red. That's what causes salmon to have the red. That's what causes flamingos to have their pink. It's this incredible red algae.
Yes. And that is so healthy for our eye health. We sell it at, not Purium, but we sell a product like it, because it's so important for our eye health and our tissues and our whole body. So I noticed a big difference in the past year and a half on taking that. My vision, yes, thank you, Rachel. My vision in my right eye has been kind of dim over these past 9 years, and it's actually brightened up. And I did not know that was possible. I was shocked. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm going back and forth, and I'm like, this eye is bright again. Like, I couldn't believe it. That was a shocker. So I have to say that. Yes.
Here it is.
And
this is an add-on to the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation. And so we're here. Thank you so much, Christen. I really appreciate you sharing your story. It was really beautiful. And, we're here to talk about all of the things. This is not just supplements and superfoods. This also requires a shift in adding nutrition into your daily life and making this a part of your life. And the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation is just what it says. It's an ultimate lifestyle transformation, this is part of the program to help you step into a lifestyle that's going to support your health. And it takes time. And so that's why we start with the 90-day protocol. This 90-day protocol is very effective. And you're going to find out, well, now I'm going to go into a little bit more of the science behind everything, because this is how you'll understand why is this 90-day protocol so effective for Christen and myself included. And those of you who don't know, I had Hashimoto's, autoimmune disorder of the thyroid. And so I was struggling with a lot of symptoms that also are seen in MS, brain fog, fatigue, extreme fatigue, memory loss. My whole brain was just like not working, and I just couldn't even function. And I found this protocol, and I too was paleo, and I was like, I felt a little bit better, but it wasn't the paleo. Okay, it wasn't the meat that was making me feel better. It was the fact that when people go paleo, they are removing all the things. They're removing grains, they're removing dairy, they're removing, well, they're not necessarily removing dairy, but they are usually removing dairy, but they're removing processed foods, they're removing sugar, they're removing all these things that are inflammatory, that are toxic. And so then everyone thinks it's the meat. Well, what's giving them energy? When people get a boost of energy from meat, they're really getting a boost of energy from is adrenaline. So it's actually depleting your body. It's actually, all those fats are actually causing depletion over time, because the adrenaline has the effect, it's corrosive. Adrenaline is something that our body naturally produces to put us in fight or flight in an emergency situation. And so and it also has the effect of breaking down fat. So adrenaline is used to break down fats in the body. So anytime we're having, and it doesn't even matter whether it's meat or if it's like a high amount of nuts and nut butter or oil in your salad, all these different things require adrenaline. And adrenaline breaks these things down, epinephrine, okay, and norepinephrine. These are hormones that are used to break down fats in the body. And so then they start spewing out, and then you go like, oh, I feel good. But yet you don't get all the way well. You can like sit there for a long time going, I think I feel better. And then eventually over time, all that adrenaline is going to now cause pain. And then you can start to end up having like amazing amount of pain, which is what you described. So you start to have like this incredible amount of pain. Why? Because it's also feeding pathogens. Adrenaline feeds pathogens in the body. That pathogens are things like viruses, bacteria, all these different little critters. And what they do is they attack the nerves. So yes, you're right. It's not your body attacking the nerves. It's the pathogens attacking the nerves. It's telling me to drink my shake, but I already drank it. It's the pathogens attacking the nerve. It's the viral neurotoxins that are attacking the nerves. So you get these neurotoxins. So you have this, so the medical industry will tell you the immune system is attacking the nerve sheath. And that's actually not what's happening. So when viruses come in contact with metals, they release a neurotoxin. And that neurotoxin is what's nibbling at all your nerves. You can have somebody with brain lesions. This is how they diagnose MS. It's like, oh, well, you have lesions on your brain. You have all these marks on your brain. But there's plenty of people who have marks on their brain who do not have any pain, who do not have any of these symptoms. Let me quickly go over the symptoms. So tremors, involuntary autonomic spasms can happen. You can have severe fatigue, increased blindness, weakness, blurry vision, numbness. These are some of the symptoms of multiple sclerosis. You might even have some of these symptoms, but not have that diagnosis. But the fact is that you have these symptoms, and this is really actually the metals are like a cofactor. And so it's really important, if you want to alleviate yourself of some of these symptoms, you want to remove the metals that feed the pathogens that cause those neurotoxins. So metals is a huge part of it that people overlook. And so yes, how did you get metals, you ask? You had the metals in your teeth, okay? Some people cook with iron skillets. Iron skillets are very porous, and they chip off, like those little metals can like easily chip off into your body, because it's like not even like a very solid metal, right? And so it's not the best way to get iron, because your iron can't even break that kind of iron down. People are like, I need iron, I need to cast iron. Yikes. And then what else do people do? They put fats, and they coat it with fat. They coat their iron pans with fat. Well, guess what? Do they wash their skillet? Don't wash my skillet. How many of you have been to somebody's house? Don't wash my cast iron skillet. There's nice fat. It's just been incubating in there. Well, guess what that fat's doing? It's going rancid in there, and it's being cooked over and over again, becoming more and more toxic, more and more rancid. And so now you're just keep putting all that stuff into your food. Okay. So not to like freak you guys out already, because just listen, the beautiful thing is it's okay because you can heal. Okay. Let me just take it back to like, we're positive. It's okay because you can actually have remedies. All right. So one of the things that's really beautiful in this 90-day protocol, this is the reason I adopted it and started sharing it with my clients, is because it has spirulina and barley green juice. These things remove metals. Okay. It has all kinds of wonderful, different things in it that will remove metals and also kill viral loads. All right. So the viruses, barley green juice actually kills viruses. That's in the green drinks, the one that I was just drinking that was all over me. So there's these wonderful things that will actually also help balance your hormones, the hormone stress, right? So we got our hormones now going all out of control. Well, we need to kind of calm them down. The apothecary juice, you'll see, I'm going to show the products in a little bit, but that also helps with hormonal balance. This is stuff that's in the kit. It's going to help relax. It's going to help reduce that cortisol. It's going to help balance your adrenaline. Okay. It's going to help you calm down. It's going to help you sleep deeply. And during our deep sleep is when our brain repairs. During that very deep sleep is when our brain repairs. It shrinks like a sponge, squeezes out all those toxins, and then all the liquid you drank the day before is now washing your brain, and it's going into all the pockets and then taking everything out. And then all night long, your body should be locked in. If you're getting up to pee several times a night, well, maybe you drank too much liquid, but also maybe your Krebs cycle's off, because that stuff should be locked into the morning so that you're puffy in the morning. All that puffiness is the juice that's just like washing everything out. And then you urinate in the morning and defecate. You like pee out and poop out all your toxins. Okay, this is like ideal. Then you want to make sure you're pooping 2 to 3 times a day. If you're not, you're constipated. If you poop less than 2 times a day, you're constipated. So you might think, well, I do it every once a day, but you might still be constipated. Okay. There's so many different kinds of metals. You know, we get aluminum metals from nonstick skillets. There's nickel and lead in our steel pots. People, anyone who's ever smoked clove cigarettes in your life, you're smoking cadmium. I did that when I was a kid. Dang it. Now I just got to detox all that. But let's look it up, the older generation, people who like my mom, who was alive in the 50s and basically she was, in her midlife in the 50s, and she was having a grand old time putting DDT on her cereal. And I don't mean like it was sprayed and then it got onto her cereal. I mean, like people had like sugar on their tables that was just DDT, like put this onto your cereal. How did this even happen? How did we end up even having DDT? And then at that time, also polio was on the rise, because polio was also fed by DDT. All right. And then polio also started to calm down once the DDT was finally it's not a good idea. Oh, let's get rid of DDT. And so then as DDT back down, that also helped the polio crisis back down. So these toxins are related. You see these rise in toxins. Right now, we're seeing a rise in glyphosate, causing a rise in all these different diseases. Glyphosate is the herbicide. It's the herbicide on Roundup. And so you're seeing this correlation. All these different diseases are on the rise in the same amount of, as the glyphosate is rising, these diseases are rising. Okay. So it's also important to detox glyphosate. Glyphosate is a toxin that also feeds pathogens, and it also kills the good bacteria. This is an herbicide. This is sprayed on anything non-organic. Anything that's genetically modified is going to have glyphosate. And it's sprayed in the parks. You see the people with the suits on, or they just even have a mask on. Sometimes they don't have a mask on, and I'm worried about them, and they're spraying, they got the backpack and they're spraying along the sides of the roads, or spraying in the parks, they're putting it on the grass, your dog's smelling it, your dog's sniffing it. Don't worry, we have a product that also removes it for animals. So we just have this kind of inundation. And at the turn of the century, at the turn of the 1900s, was when viruses were starting to really get big, and and then we started having these, hormone, and then we started having like hormone replacement therapies. They were experimenting with hormones, and then we had the war in the 50s. Wait, here we go. Yeah, and like in the 40s, and we had war chemicals, nerve gases, radiation, and then so we had all these leftover chemicals from this war complex, from this industry. What are we going to do? What are all those chemical companies going to do? Well, they got to stay in business. So what do? Well, we could kill bugs with it. What a great idea. Let's kill bugs. We're going to sell it, and we're going to kill bugs. We'll keep the chemical companies open. We're going to kill all these bugs. So all these excess things were then used to kill bugs. And then of course, what they did was just diluted it with water. They just diluted these chemicals with water, and they tried to find out where the kill zone was, like started experimenting on people. Let's see, what's the kill zone? Where's the place where like actually people will stop dying? If we do it just enough, then they won't kill the people, but it'll just kill the bugs. But of course, we accumulate this in our system, so pretty soon it kills us. Well, this is the rise of MS. At this time was the rise of multiple sclerosis. Nowadays, multiple sclerosis is being seen as Lyme disease. So more and more, we're starting to see the diagnosis of Lyme disease, which also is like all these different cofactors of bacteria. Bacteria and neurotoxins are causing all the pain, and they're having the same thing. It's still the same thing. It's the metals feeding the pathogens, feeding the bacteria, causing and as they eat it, then they poop out these neurotoxins that are actually excrement that are actually causing harm to the body. So what we want to do is we want to detox. We want to detox all of these things out of our system. We want to detox all of the chemicals out of our system that we've been accumulating in our liver, because that's where it stays. We want to also simultaneously remove the metals. We want to remove the toxins, and we also want to kill the viral and pathogenic loads that are bad for us. Food is really smart. Okay, humans and plants, we are like in synergy with each other. We just have this like incredible like conscious relationship with each other. Those amazing plants are smart. They know what is not organic matter in the body, and they will remove it. Okay, smart plants will remove metals. They will kill off toxins. And so this is why it's so important to eat as many plants as possible. We want to increase our fruits. We want to increase our vegetables. And there's a few specific things that I can recommend for you to support you in doing this. And that's what this 90-day protocol can help you with. And that's also, but the 90-day protocol also comes with some guidelines, some suggestions for food. We've also got videos that have like cooking recipes. We've got a support group. We've got a Facebook support group that has recipes. We've got, I have a couple YouTube videos that people can pass around that like give you ideas of like how to make food and what to cook and how to make dressings and all kinds of stuff and what flavors to use, because you can spice it up. You can still enjoy your food. You can still enjoy it. You can enjoy those potatoes, enjoy those sweet potatoes. Those are good for you. Let's see. Look at the foods. Oh yeah. We want to increase our vitamin C. That's really important. SOD, superoxide dismutase, all different kinds, like as much antioxidants as possible. We also, one of the ways that, the other thing that Christen says when she was talking about how she was being prescribed immunosuppressants. I'm very proud of you, Christen, that you decided to just resist the immunosuppressants and try to handle the pain until you figured it out. That's exactly what I did with my Hashimoto's. I was like, I refuse to take any thyroid medications because I know that it will destroy my thyroid. So I just have to hold out till I figure out I just knew, I was like, there's a nutrition. I believed in nutrition so strong. I just didn't know what nutrition. And it wasn't until I found this protocol that all of a sudden, within the first 10 days, all my symptoms were gone. My exhaustion was gone. My brain fog was gone. I was no longer cold anymore. My digestion, my bloating disappeared. I stopped being constipated. All these issues disappeared in the first 10 days of this protocol. And I literally stayed on this protocol for a year. They don't say you have to. I did. I just chose. I'm like, I feel this good. I'm going to keep going. Okay. So I stayed on this protocol for like a year. It's just food. It's not like you're staying on medications for a year. It's not like you're just like choosing to add in nutrients for the rest of your life. Right. It's like, well, if you think about how much time it took you to accumulate your present state of dis-ease, if you're feeling dis-ease in the body and you're not feeling like you're able to sleep, if you're struggling with brain fog, if you're struggling with pain, how long did it take you to accumulate all these toxins and acidity to get there? So you want to give yourself the gift of taking the time to also detox, and that can take time. You might have some wonderful results in the beginning immediately, and you might even have like a little moment where it's like there's like a flare up because your body's now getting rid of everything. That can happen too, just like a day or two. And then all of a sudden you have this amazing other side of the bridge where you're just like energy, and like Christen was saying, just felt like incredible. And now I have been 9 years symptom free. I've been 9 years. I had my blood work done a few months ago. No more anemia. I'm completely healthy now. I'm definitely not paleo. Definitely not paleo anymore. And I have been mostly plant-based this entire 9 years, and like having an incredible results. I went on from being a couch potato, exhausted all the time, to becoming a professional award-winning champion bodybuilder. And so this has been an amazing journey, showing me the arc of what's possible. And so, Christen, thank you for your story. So I'm going to go into, there's a lot I could say in terms of like herbs and stuff. Here's some foods you can add in that you can eat that are really wonderful to eat on this protocol. Every fruit you can think of, any fruits, every fruit and every vegetable you can think of. Dandelion greens are amazing. Spinach is amazing. Mache, collard greens, turmeric, burdock roots, avocado, hemp seeds, and then walnuts in small amounts. Remember, you don't want to do like more than like a tablespoon of walnuts. People who eat nuts in droves, you're doing that thing where now you got too many fats, and now you're feeding you're causing an adrenaline rush, which is going to feed the pathogen. So even walnuts, you got to keep to a minimal. Right? You don't want to be putting oil dressing on your food. You don't want to be cooking in oils. You want to be steaming, or you want to be water sauteing. Okay. So this is like the ideal way to eat. Dried watermelon seeds, wheatgrass juice, which is basically, in the products, sweet potatoes, carrot, onion, garlic, and celery, and more. Okay, so I'm not saying these are the only things you can eat, but I'm giving you an idea of like, you get to enjoy all these delicious varieties of foods. Okay. Foods to avoid. Eggs, number one, eggs, because that is literally like a petri dish for bacteria. Okay, that is like the number one food that will cause pain, that will like literally feed all the different pathogens in your body. It's used in cancer research to feed cancer, so that you can actually study the cancer. So they use eggs. Okay, dairy products, gluten, corn. Okay, corn is pretty much GMO at this point. There's a lot of cross-contamination. It's sprayed with herbicides. Even if it's organic, it's like you've probably gotten some cross-hybridization, because the GMO seeds are flying in with the wind and contaminating organic farms. And so it's very hard to, it's just one of those things, and it's an allergenic food. So if you're really struggling, you want to eliminate these things. Canola oil is a highly processed toxic oil, and nobody should eat it. Unfortunately, Whole Foods is now ever since it got taken over by Amazon, it's all canola oil. It used to be olive oil. Now it's all canola oil. So look at what the ingredients are if you're shopping at the deli. MSG, obviously, natural flavors. So some natural flavors can be good. Like some of our products have natural flavors. They're all made from organic fruits, and it's just like it's like a bunch of different ingredients. So it's just easier to say natural flavors. But a lot of times natural flavors can also be a loophole that can allow in ingredients that are not safe. So be aware of natural flavors. Avoid citric acid. Citric acid is like something that they'll put in products to say that there's vitamin C in there, and it's like made from corn mold. Okay, so avoid citric acid. So that's your little list. If anybody wants to put in the chat what you heard, just to kind of help people have a visual, and so people can kind of write things down. Just like really, you want to have a carbohydrate rich life. Okay, carbohydrate rich fruits and vegetables to maintain your strength and heal. And you want to have lots of leafy greens and fruits and vegetables. So this is how we eat along with this protocol. And let me show you what the protocol looks like, because I'm sure you're curious, those of you who are not, some of you who are on the protocol and actually are typing your story in the chat. Some of you have accidentally sent your chat directly to me. And so the group has not been able to see what your story is. So Gleneth, please share your story in there because it came just to me. And I know people want to hear about how you like recovered from sleep apnea and all the different things. So let me share my screen. And basically, we're going to go to, sorry, I've got all these different controls here. We're going to go to the website and it's ultlifestyle.org. ultlifestyle.com. And you're going to get a 25% off gift code from whoever invited you. So you can get a nice discount on these products. So this is called the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation. Like I said, it's going to help you clear cravings. It's going to help you create better habits, and it's very easy to follow. This is a protocol that is so easy. I couldn't believe how easy it was. I used to share this with, I used to, struggle as a health practitioner trying to get people to change their diets, and it was like, how do I get them to actually stick? Well, then I found this protocol and it was just so easy to follow. It was the answer. So in here, we talked about the green drinks that have spirulina. They have barley green juice, alfalfa leaf. There's a variety of different shakes you can choose from. Some of them have an incredible array of medicinal mushrooms. Some of them it has sprouts. It's just and what literally one drink is equivalent to 12 microgreen salads. So 12 microgreen salads. And in one drink, and then now you've probably eaten more nutrition than you've ever had in one single day. You want to do these drinks twice a day for a good 90 days. We have this apothecary juice. This is an incredible nightcap. This is what I was talking to you about that helped me sleep deeply. This has naturally occurring melatonin. It has the highest antioxidants fruit in the entire world. Acerola tart cherries have the highest antioxidants of any fruit in the world. So this is literally plant medicine right here. Okay, fruit medicine. You've got these wonderful super aminos. Super aminos are incredible because one of the things I forgot to mention is that this is part of that MS is a lot of different things can be diagnosed as MS. But mostly MS is part of actually the root cause is Epstein-Barr virus, which is part of the herpetic family. And so these super aminos have L-lysine in them, which is really wonderful at destroying that virus. Okay. So the super aminos is incredible. It also gives you tons of energy. This is plant-based protein. Your body uses all of it. It'll give your liver a break and your kidneys a break from any animal products. If you're just taking these, this will replace the protein that you need. It's incredible. This is what gives me straight up clean energy throughout the day. I can't even leave home without this. The Biomedic here, this is our flagship product. This removes glyphosate, the herbicide. So glyphosate is the herbicide and in Roundup, and studies, some double-blind study shows that this removes 74.5% of glyphosate in 6 weeks. The Biomedic, 74.5%. It also reduces CRP, C-reactive protein, which is a bioinflammatory marker. So this removes this reduces the CRP by 75% as well in 6 weeks. So anyone who has ever had that tested, if you want to get that tested, you can also get that tested before and after and actually see for yourself. It's clinically proven, and it's in the detoxproject.org has given it an award as the only product on the market that can actually remove glyphosate. These super cleanse our herbs are really incredible. This is going to clean the gut. It'll kill any parasites, pathogens, viruses. This is very, very helpful. You take this the first month and you take this the second month. So there's 2, or if you got a giant pack, then you can take half the pack the first month, half the pack the second month. Okay, so all this for just $12 a day. So this is literally $12 a day for 2 meals a day for 30 days. So this is a 30-day, you get your kit 30 days at a time. So you can do the 90-day protocol. You can quit at any time if you decide it's not right for you. You can return it for your whole money back within 60 days if it's not right for you. So just know there's really no risk in choosing to do something that could really, really, really support your health and your life and give you longevity, reduce your cravings, make it easy. I say, don't worry about taking the bad stuff out, the quote unquote bad stuff out. If you're like, oh my God, I don't want to let go of coffee. I don't want to let go of dairy, whatever the things are. I say, don't worry. Don't try to let go of those things. Just add this in. Okay. Because if you add this in, it's going to change your cravings within a few days. You'll notice your cravings change. And I was able to let go of cookies and chips. That was my big downfall. I was like addicted to those things because they're so good. But now those things are too sweet for me. Like I hardly can even eat that many cookies or even a cookie. And so this really is what helped me is these green drinks really alkalized my blood and made it possible, alkalized my body. My blood's always alkaline. Your blood is always alkaline, but it alkalized my body and made it so that my blood didn't have to work so hard and really, really changed my life. So that's what it looks like. So $12 a day. So that's $6 is a meal plus all of your supplements twice a day. Your meal and your drink plus your supplements twice a day. That's how you break that down. And so this saved me about $300 my first month that I did it. And most people report that they save money because this is like 2/3 of your groceries. This is going to be like your groceries for the month. Okay, so it literally is a way to save money. To be honest, I got so sick, I ended up living in my car. And I have to tell you, this was the easiest way to eat as a homeless person. This was like the one thing I invested in. I invested in myself as a homeless person. And drove up and down the coast of California, lived in my car on the beaches, took showers at the 24-hour fitness. And then this was my lunch and breakfast and I got well. And then I was able to work again. So, so the retail value total is $480, but you're going to get 25% off from whoever invited you. So it's $360. Okay. And that's your first month supply right there. And then you can set it up so that it'll just automatically ship to you every month. And you can stop at any time. You can customize it right here. Click this "Would you like to customize" button, and you can choose which shakes you want. So for MS, I really recommend getting at least 2 of the super meals. You can get either flavor. There's vanilla chai and then there's original. But I recommend at least 2, if not all super meals. The Power Shake Appleberry is very popular flavor. It's a really delicious super green drink. This has got like high in spirulina and chlorella. Month 2 and 3, same thing. Just this is less expensive. This one's $340 the second month, and you'll take that second bag of cleanse our herbs with this. This is for month 2 and 3. Okay, month 4, you're going to go down to the maintenance pack, unless you're like me, in which case I stayed on this for a year. I really did. But if you want to just go down, you feel like you've gotten well, you've done enough, you're like wanting to stop, then you can go down to the maintenance pack. And this is just amazing. People have been on this. I've been on this for this is what I've been on for the rest of my life. Like I've been on this for 9 years and I haven't had any symptoms come back. And it's not just this, but it's because of the way I eat, that this actually changed my lifestyle around food. This actually helped me to eat more alkaline. It helped me to eat more greens because I was following a protocol that then became a norm for me. And so this really, really gives me my baseline nutrients every single day. You've got your fruits, your vegetables, and your protein, and then your probiotics every single day. So that's what I recommend. You can also switch out, you get at least 1 super meal here. Like that. And these are naturally sweetened with herbs that actually help balance blood sugar. So the super meal is sweetened with stevia. If you hate stevia, stick with the Power Shake. The Power Shake is sweetened with monk fruit, but they're both really good for you. So that's what I recommend. And I'm going to suggest, and then you just click add to cart, and then on the right side, you can scroll down and see your order. And you'll also see that there's like a smart ship. So the smart subscription comes automatically and you get charged when it comes. You don't get charged now up front. They don't charge you till they ship it out. So you can also cancel if you need to beforehand. Don't worry about it. just start and try it. You can always have 60 days to get your money back if you need to. So, so like that. There's a few other things that I would add on, and I'll tell you why. Like I said, the vitamin C is a really important part of handling this. And so we have this wonderful vitamin C called C from Nature. I recommend adding that in. I recommend the Revive It All. It has alpha lipoic acid. This is important for cleaning off the neurotransmitter receptor site. So this is great for the brain food. So add on Revive It All, add on vitamin C. I would also add on Women's Defense. Women's Defense has cat claw, which is really wonderful. Women's Defense has a lot of good things in it, but it's got cat claw and a number of mushrooms, plus superoxide dismutase, which is a super antioxidant. And then things that are not from Purium, I recommend Vimergy.com. Vimergy.com has wonderful products as well. Vimergy.com has the vitamin B12, lemon balm, and glutamine. I would recommend that you get those things too. Vitamin B12, B12 complex, plus the lemon balm tincture, you can get in a tincture, and glutamine. So that's what I would recommend specifically as nutritional support for multiple sclerosis. So get with the person who invited you and they will help you make that order if you need some help. And I have seen some questions here. I just want to make sure, yes, and the lion's mane there's lion's mane in the dark berry drink, which also has, which has been, Lena wrote, lion's mane mushroom has been researched and shown to protect and regenerate the myelin sheath. Yes, so there is lion's mane in the dark berry drink, I believe. And so that's also something you can also swap out one of those drinks for the the dark berry. So that's out with that. I am going to answer some questions. I see Felicia has her hand up. I just want to make sure I get to any specific questions. Somebody asked about chemo. I think I saw a question about chemo. If somebody could kind of just like help me know what the questions, feel free to come off mute. Felicia.
Hi.
Hi, babe.
Hi. So I have been reading the Medical Medium Liver Cleanse book, and I went to the chapter about the adrenaline and all that stuff. And what shocked me is that epinephrine. Yeah, that the liver one.
This is liver rescue.
I can't see. Oh,
it's
yeah.
It's liver rescue. I recommend this book.
That one. And he said that the epinephrine causes Parkinson's disease. I was like, what? And it's because of the adrenaline, right? Because it's too much for the liver.
Yeah. Epinephrine is adrenaline. They're the same. And yeah, it's corrosive. Adrenaline is corrosive. Yeah.
So epinephrine.
Avoid those. We have to avoid the food. That's one of the reasons it's important to let go of coffee and chocolate, because those both produce adrenaline. And we have a good testimonial from Kat. I don't know if she's here, but Kat, are you here? Are you available, Kat? I don't know if she's on this call, but anyway, Kat.
I am.
Beauty. Oh my gosh. Wait, I gotta find you because I want to highlight you. You must talk. I want you to share your story really quick.
I would love to.
Spotlight you. Hey, babe.
Hi. I am so grateful. I have experienced, I'm so inspired by everyone who's speaking and all of the incredible health warriors I get to work with. Like, how incredibly blessed are we? Are you kidding me? Like, my whole life is changing right now, and I can't imagine my life without Purium, without Rachel, without all of the beautiful people in my life. And I'm just like beside myself. I've experienced a condition called psoriatic arthritis for 27 years, since I was 16. I'm 43 now. At the age of 18, it was full-blown arthritis. 19, I was bedridden for the first time and told I'd be in a wheelchair by the age of 30. I've had 12 joints broken and reset, 8 tendons severed. I've been bedridden so many times and told that I was not gonna make it. Told that medicine couldn't help me anymore, and told that my body was so, the condition I was experiencing was so extreme that they gave me twice the amount of the drugs. And then my body had the worst side effects. I had nerve damage that can lead to paralysis. I had, the steroids I've put in my body, the biologics, how it shut down my immune system. And it was from the get-go with me, because at 3 months old, I had whooping cough for 3 months, 3 to 6 months old. And they pumped my body full of drugs. They didn't know what I had. My mom couldn't breastfeed me. I was an 80s baby. I was born at the end of 79. All the conventional foods, and my mom had a clothing store in the 80s, high fashion. And it was right next to McDonald's, so. And when I was a good girl, I got a Happy Meal, and I was so happy about that Happy Meal. In retrospect, I was like, what was I doing to my poor body? And my body has been through so much, and I've tried everything. I've tried to, and I've been on diet since the age of 19. I've fasted, I've done everything. And I've had moments in my life where I've glimpsed a little remission. But it's finally, after 3 years of trying Purium products, and I finally found a combination that my body is oh, this is life-giving. This is game-changing. And I will share what it is if you want to know about it. It is the Super Meal Original. And I add in a teaspoon to a tablespoon of spirulina, a teaspoon of barley green juice, and a teaspoon of the Kamut blend. And the Kamut blend has been magic. I just introduced that into the mix in the last month, and that my psoriasis, I've had it for 27 years. It is it's almost gone from my face. It's just so much lighter. It's gone from my forearms. Dermatologists and rheumatologists looked at me and talked about me like I was a totaled car. It's all over you. And I'm like, no, why aren't they talking about healing us from the inside out? This is crucial. This is just, I'm blown away. And I started doubting it myself, because I was like, wow, it's going to take so much. And it is taking a lot for me. My body expresses very extreme detox symptoms. I have a lot of heavy metals in my body and glyphosate. I've had a lot of antibiotics. I've been sick so much throughout my life, and they pump me full of antibiotics, and every time. So I'm coming back from a lot, and our bodies are capable of so much. I'm sorry if I'm taking out so much space.
Thank you, Kat. I wanted to say, can you also just talk about how you stopped chocolate? Can you talk about that really quick?
How what?
How you gave up chocolate, how hard that was for you, and how you did it, and how that you can.
Well, I will say that I didn't completely give it up, but I do. I don't only have it a tiny, tiny bit, once a month, maybe.
Mm-hmm. And share what you experienced, because I think it's really important for people to hear this.
I used to be a part of a cacao. I still am part of a cacao ceremony. I showed up today, and it was beautiful. And I did have a little bit of hot cocoa with macadamia nut milk, but you know what? I'm human, and I wanted it. So, my body.
Because I kept telling you, you got to give up the chocolate. You got to give up the chocolate.
It was really hard for me. It was really hard for me initially, and now it actually feels pretty easy.
Did you notice results? I just remember you were like, oh my God, things have changed. So what results did you notice right away?
With my adrenaline, my body's been in a constant state of fight or flight for so long. And so for me, I think that that's the biggest thing. And that's why the super meal is so imperative for me, is because of the adrenals and the adaptogens in that product. And for me, cacao and coffee and caffeine generally is just too much for my nervous system. It's too much for my adrenals, my hormones, and my vagus nerve. Like I feel like it's just a lot. And even if I have a little bit now, I just do like a small amount. Like I would never, I mean, I'm never gonna say never. I'm human and
Yeah, no, there's no, I mean, there's no, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like we do what we can, but you've done a lot. I mean, it's huge that you went from drinking cacao like regularly and that now you've like just doing it once a month. That's a huge impact. But what I noticed is you told me right away, you were like, my skin's doing better. I mean,
also
Kat has eczema and psoriasis, like from her entire legs are covered in it. And so, you came to me desperate. You were like at this like giving up point of like, I don't know what giving up would have even meant, but you were like at this giving up point. And it was like the one thing like that you just were like, had such a hard time letting go of. And even for me, there's things that that I've let go of, like letting go of eggs was such a hard thing for me. I mean, it took me like months and months to like keep convincing myself. But like once you make that step, it was amazing, like how much that helped your healing another level.
that probably was one of the hardest commitments for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was because sugar, I'm like, no, I love maple syrup. I love honey. And if I just do small amounts of those, mostly maple, it's great. Cutting back oil.
Those are very good for your liver. And just want everyone to know, like honey and maple syrup are incredible for the liver. Organic raw honey, not it has to be organic raw honey.
I also love dates. Like I had a couple of dates last
Dates
night.
are antiviral. Dates kill viruses. Thank you.
I love them so much. So that helped me wean off of cacao. And also I show up to my cacao circle and I have lemon water and I just pray to the spirit of cacao.
Yeah.
I can the energy.
Just enjoy the energy. You can just like have it and smell it.
Open my heart, like, and have lemon water and just pray to these lemons because
I'm
that's
proud of you. So proud of you.
I love you.
Thank you. I love you too.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. Love you. Thank you so much. Okay, what questions am I missing? I think someone asked a question about me being a bodybuilder and eating protein. Yes, I do plant-based protein. I do the super aminos. That's all I need. That's like gives me like crazy amounts of energy. And super aminos build muscle even while you're sleeping. Like it literally tones and builds the muscle. It's insane. And carbohydrates build muscle. A lot of people think that they need protein for muscle. Actually, carbohydrates build muscle. So like potatoes, like all that stuff, like fluffs up your muscle, makes them go like that. Okay.
The other question I remember seeing, Rachel, was about cookware.
Okay, so there's two cookwares I recommend. Thank you, Nirancar. Appreciate you being on top of it. The cookwares I recommend are Green Life cookware and Salad Master. Those are the only two cookwares that I think. So if you're on a budget, then Green Life is like $150 for a set. If you really have a nice budget, I would go to Salad Master, find a Salad Master distributor and do Salad Master, because that is like, those cost thousands of dollars, but they're really, really good cookware. And it's like molybdenum titanium steel, so it's very clean. Okay, anyone else have a question? And yes, cacao, sorry, not just chocolate, but cacao. And we're not like distinguishing like, oh, but cacao is different than chocolate. It's like all of it. Sorry, but it's astringent and it's definitely the thing that got rid of when I finally gave up chocolate. That was like how I finally healed my eczema. That was like the very last missing piece. And then whenever I would add it in, it would just flare up. My breast would just like be covered in like eczema overnight. Like I was like, oh my God, gotta like keep back from this. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, I think we've covered all the questions. Somebody asked a question of chemo. Okay, so recovering from chemo, this is very helpful for detoxing from chemo. Also, you really want, one of the things that's helpful for removing radiation is seaweed. Okay, so get some seaweed from the Atlantic Ocean instead of the Pacific, at Atlantic Dulce. Okay, because it's less radiation over there. And so just like put that on your salads, put that in your soups. Just have tons of seaweed. If you did chemo and radiation. And then this is also incredibly helpful. I don't know if I've shown these in a while, but what the heck, maybe I'll show I'll show a before and after picture of somebody who had chemo, liver toxicity, poisoning. It was like absolutely horrendous. And I'm going to share this with you guys. It's been a while since I've shared these pictures, so hang on one sec. Everyone likes pictures. And
just want to say thank you so much, Rachel. Thank you for giving us your time this way, giving your information this way. So grateful for you.
Aw, you're so welcome. Appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. Oops, that wasn't it. Here we go. All right. I'm having a hard time, but like this. There we go. Okay. So these are the things you can see can be addressed with following the Superfoods Protocol. And we'll just start with, where's Melly? Here it is. So there she was after chemo. She had liver poisoning and she ended up with this, her whole face was just covered in eczema. And here she is afterwards, clear. And so you can see the eczema psoriasis video. That's a whole other video. If you want the replay for that, you can see that. But skin issues, well taken care of here. You can see the change just in the glow of this woman's face. Just incredible. This is Naomi. She's had like an amazing transformation in a year. Okay, so I'm just going to stop there. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you so much for your time. This was a good long call. You just realize how long it's been. So thank you for your time, and I'll stay on to answer questions. I'm going to stop the recording.